The passenger airplane was cruising smoothly at 30,000 feet, the cabin lights dim, engines humming like a lullaby as travelers slept, watched movies, or stared out at the endless night sky. When without warning, a violence shook the aircraft from nose to tail, overhead bins burst open, oxygen masks dropped, and screams ripped through the cabin as the plane suddenly tilted, the pilots fighting the controls while alarms screamed in the cockpit, and for a terrifying moment, everyone believed this was the end. But what no one could imagine was that this terror did not come from weather, mechanical failure, or another aircraft, but from something alive, something massive, something that should never have been in the sky. Just minutes earlier, the flight had been completely routine, a standard route crossing dense jungle, far below, where rivers snake through endless green and legends of giant anacondas have haunted local tribes for centuries, stories often dismissed as exaggerations or myths. Yet on this night, those legends were about to rise into the heavens themselves. As turbulence built without warning and the aircraft shuddered violently, the pilots scanned their instruments in confusion, radar showing nothing unusual, no storm cells, no birds, no drones, while flight attendants struggled to calm passengers as the plane lurched again, harder this time, metal groaning under unimaginable pressure. Then came the moment of pure horror when a flight attendant, peering through a small cabin window, froze in place. Her breath caught in her throat as she saw a colossal dark green shape wrapped tightly around the wing scales, glistening under the navigation lights of body, thicker than a fuel tank, muscles flexing with terrifying strength, a giant Anaconda somehow clinging to the aircraft at 30,000 feet. Panic exploded through the cabin as passengers rushed to the windows, some praying, some screaming, others filming in disbelief, while the snake tightened its coils, crushing flaps, disrupting airflow, and causing the aircraft to shudder violently with every movement. Experts would later theorize how the impossible happened, suggesting the Anaconda may have been hidden in cargo loaded from the remote jungle airstrip or swept upward by a powerful storm system. But in that moment, theory meant nothing. Only survival mattered. Inside the cockpit, the pilots declared an emergency as engine performance dropped and warning lights multiplied. The aircraft beginning a slow, terrifying descent, while inside the cabin oxygen levels fell and fear turned to raw desperation. The crew instructed passengers to brace as the pilots attempted sharp banking maneuvers and controlled dives, hoping the freezing temperatures and thin air would weaken the creature. But each movement triggered violent reactions as the Anaconda thrashed its massive body slamming against metal, nearly tearing the wing apart. Frost formed along the snake's scales as the aircraft descended through colder air, its movements growing slower, weaker, until one final, desperate coil slipped loose. And in a moment that felt unreal, the massive creature lost its grip and vanished into the clouds below, falling back toward the jungle from which it came. A stunned silence filled the cabin, broken only by sobs and whispered prayers, as the damaged aircraft limped toward an emergency landing, every second stretching like an eternity until the wheels finally touched the runway and the nightmare ended. In the aftermath, survivors struggled to explain what they had seen. Aviation experts questioned how close humanity had come to disaster, and wildlife scientists debated whether creatures far larger than we believe still hide in the world, as most remote places, leaving one chilling thought hanging in the air long after the flight was over. If nature can reach us at 30,000 feet, nowhere is truly safe.